Hello, this is OverlordBou, back with another ship review video, and today we'll be looking at the new Tier 10 Dutch destroyer, the Tromp. Now, the Tromp will be sold initially for 38,450 doubloons. Now, new to Tromp, players can spend free XP to reduce her doubloon costs. Now, with a small loan of 1 million free XP, Tromp's final price will be reduced to 19,225 doubloons if you are wanting to buy her, so that is there. Now, Tromp also comes with a 12-point commander if purchased during her initial release, and Tromp will be released next year and will be sold in the Armory for about 238,000 coal. So if you want to get her for the balloons, you can, or you can just wait to get her for coal. Totally up to you. Now, I'll be going over my recommended captain build, module setup, followed by the ship stats, and finally, I'll give my final thoughts on the ship about her performance overall. Now, first up is the captain build and upgrades will be shown on the top right. You guys can pause the video at any time if you are interested in the build. So just do that anytime you'd like. Now, let's talk about the ship stats, starting with her armor and survivability. The armor will be shown on the top right. But Tromp has 19mm bow/stern and superstructures with a 24,500 HP pool. Though Tromp has an above average HP pool, her lack of smokes or heals means her effective HP is mediocre by tier 10 standards. Lack of defensive consumables means she is completely reliant on dodging to survive fights, so prepare to dodge. Tromp has to be very careful on how she picks her fights. One wrong move and her HP will evaporate. Up next is the main guns, with the main armament being 3 twin 150mm/50 guns with a 13.3 kilometer range, a 5.2 second base reload, a 15-second 180 turret traverse, and can fire 31 degrees off of the bow and 42 degrees off of the stern. The HE shell damage is 2150 with a 30mm HE pen with 11% fire chance and 149k HE DPM. The AP shell damage is 3000 with a 10mm overmatch with a 45 through 60 degree ricochet angles and a AP DPM of 208k. Tromp's guns are solid for a gunboat DD due to their 30mm HE pen and Russian DD-like arcs. Her effective DPM is much higher against DDs and cruisers, as her superior ballistics and high pen lets her reliably deal damage even at longer ranges. Her AP is also no slouch, being able to citadel cruisers under 8 through 10 kilometers, though surviving that encounter with the counterattacks from the cruiser is a totally different story. You're most likely going to die. Basically, Tromp's guns are ideal for mid to long range engagements, roughly 9 through 14 kilometers normally. Now, moving on to her torpedoes. The torpedoes are 2 triple launcher 533mm torpedoes with 13,700 damage, a 12 kilometer range with a 64 knot speed, a 70-second reload. Now, Tromp is the best ship ever. It has the best. It has only the best torpedoes. No other ship has better torpedoes. Believe me. It has the best damage and the best speed. You wouldn't believe it. Wargaming told me it's impossible. It's too good, too impossible for it to be this good. But it's, folks, it is, and you'll get tired of torping. We're gonna do so much torping, believe me. You're gonna get tired of it. You're gonna say, please, Wargaming, it's too much. We're torping so much with Tromp. We can't take it anymore. But you're going to keep dev striking. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. We're also going to build a great torpedo wall, a beautiful wall with the best torpedoes, and we're going to make War Thunder pay for it. Believe me. And because the enemy isn't setting us their best, they're definitely kill stealers. They're killer stealers. They're trolls. And some, I believe, may be good players, but we can't take them. It's a scam, folks. It's a scam. We can't let War Thunder win, so we have to build a torpedo wall, folks. Remember, we got to build a torpedo wall. The greatest torpedo wall ever with Tromp. Now, next up is her anti-air. The anti-air defense has no flak, a mid-range of 3.5 kilometers and 249 DPS, with a near being 2 kilometers and 46 DPS. Now, Tromp's anti-air is woefully inadequate for dealing with any CV. Her DFA is fake news, effectively doing nothing other than making the player feel better when a rocket plane comes around. Moving on to her anti-air capabilities, we have the depth charges with maximum charges of 2 and a number of depth charges per attack is 6. damage per charge is 2,000, and the reload time is 40 seconds. Now, the range of these depth charges is launched from the aft of the ship, so it's ass. Trump's depth charges are disappointing, to put it mildly. Trump will only slightly damage enemy submarines, even with ideal attack runs. Not a good thing if enemy DDs can one-hit kill shotgun you for trying, so definitely watch out for that. Well, submarines can one-hit kill you if they shotgun, yeah, just watch out for that. So play like you don't have any ASW pretty much, or if you have to, then go for it. Now, unique to the Dutch, you do get the Dutch airstrikes with a maximum of 2 charges. Number of bombs per run is 72. Damage is 3,700 per bomb. Any 20mm HE pen with a fire chance of 21%, a reload time of 60 seconds, and a range of 10 kilometers. Now, Trump's airstrike gimmick occupies an interesting niche. Like the Dutch cruisers, airstrikes are very effective against stationary or predictable targets. Though her bombs can only damage the superstructure, they are good at lighting fires, as you'll see without my replays. Now, Trump can sneak into airstrike range, unleash them on island-humping ships, damaging or force them out of cover, but you definitely gotta be wary of radar cruisers. Smart players will instantly radar and try to punish you for bombing them, so definitely be watching out for that. For maneuverability, you have a 33.5 knot max speed with a turning radius of 720 meters and a 5.3 second rudder shift. Though normally bad for a tier 10 DD, Trump's speed boost consumable brings it up to above average for a brief period. Without it, she's an easy ship to hit. Slow speed also makes it difficult to reposition in time. Now, up next is her concealment, with the base C being 7.3 kilometers and aerial being 3.7. If you build into the detection, it is 5.9 kilometers surface and 3.0 kilometers for the air detection. Trump's concealment is competitive for a gunboat like DD on par with the gearing. It is great for avoiding other gunboat DDs like the Kleber, Marceau, Kaba, as a few examples. Though Trump should still be wary of picking fights due to her mediocre DPM and lack of escape tools. Finally, the consumables available for Trump. For the consumables, you get a standard DD damage control party with a 5-second immunity period and a 40-second reload time. You also get a standard defensive AA with a 4 base charges, 5 with superintendent, with a plus 50% continuous damage, plus 300% flak damage, 40-second active time, and an 80-second reload time. The final consumable you get is the emergency engineer power at the 5 base charges, 6 with superintendent, plus 25% max speed, and improved acceleration, with a 60-second active time and 100% reload time. Now that I've covered the Trump stats, I'll be talking about her overall performance. So, overall impression, I'd say the skill floor is very high. The skill ceiling is also high. And from randoms, I'd say it's mediocre to average. With ranked, I'd say it's about poor. With Trump performing poorly against other DDs due to her lack of smoke and DPM. Her gimmick's also difficult to employ against smarter players, while CV's absolutely dumpster her. There's other far superior options that exist if you want a good DD for ranked. For clan battles, I would say it's unlikely to see use. Her poor survivability and lack of DPM makes her unsuitable for current DD roles, and her airstrike gimmick is outclassed by the Golden Loo, or Golden Shower. Now, Trump is a very unique addition to the tier 10 DD lineup, being the first DD to use the Dutch airstrike gimmick. Unfortunately, a lot of stats were sacrificed to let Trump use the airstrikes. While her guns are good, Trump has a horrible survivability due to her lack of smoke or heals. The engine boost somewhat mitigates this, but if Trump gets spotted when it's not active, she will take massive damage, as you'll be seeing throughout the matches. You'll see me definitely suffering when I'm spotted without it. Now, as a result, Trump players better is use a mid to long range gunboat if you do decide to do that, but I prefer to be middle to closer range, just being more of like a stealth, maybe a little bit more stealthy. But again, though Trump is outclassed by Ragnar, it's better than exploding and doing nothing anyways, if we're talking like long range gunboating. Now, Trump can still perform the spotting DD role thanks to her 5.9 kilometer concealment, but players should be wary of using her in this role. One bad move and you'll be sunk, and many DDs can exploit her lack of defensive options. The airstrikes can be a noob trap, though. While it's her defining gimmick, many players will inadvertently throw their ships away blindly walking to a bad position trying to use these things. Now, overall, I'd say the Trump is an interesting gimmick DD, though not exactly good in terms of performance. She is a fun to meme around, but there are better options if you want to carry the game. Now, again, when this ship does come out, should be the end day drops today, so it should be available coming up pretty much like instantly, pretty much for Black Friday, I believe. Now, the final price for her is going to be 38,450 doubloons. And if you do a small loan of 1 million free XP, the Trump's final price will be reduced to 19,225. And if you do buy it during this period, you do get the 12-point commander with it. But then in the coming next year, you'll be able to get the ship in the army for 238 coal. Now, kind of like my thoughts of like, if you're going to say like an interesting gimmick ship, kind of like the Apollo Emilio, I would say that this ship could be a fun maybe ship if you're looking for just a clip to kind of meme around and have fun with. Because these bombs do a lot of damage. It can be a lot of fun to just meme around. I wouldn't expect to do well every match in this ship because you are very reliant on hitting those bomb strikes and getting those permafires. Now, one thing I will say is if you're able to use the torps effectively on trying to get the ship to turn a certain way, you could use that to be able to hit more bombs against battleships or more like maneuverable cruisers, just to give a few suggestions there. But yep, that is going to be it of going over the stats and such for the Trump. So at this point, if you guys have any questions or concerns about anything, you can just definitely let me know. But at this point, I'm just going to go over, I'm going to watch the replays with you guys and kind of just give my thoughts on what I could have done or anything like that. Now, when I was playing the Trump, when I was taking it out and testing it and having fun with it, one thing I did notice, as I was saying earlier, this ship definitely does suffer if you get into a DD engagement with no help and you're kind of just going in and just not with that much support. Now here I did get radar by the Annapolis, and yeah, it's not gonna be fun. At this point, the match is already 5-10. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun at all. Yeah. It is definitely a disaster with this one for sure. It's definitely yeah, it's not gonna be a lot of fun for this one, that's for sure. And with this salvo, I am not dead yet. Am I dead? Oh, close. All right, and then we're dead. All right. It is a disaster for sure, but in the end, it is what it is. You cannot get matches every time. And then with the Holland did, that will be the match. So I did lose this one though, sadly. Now I did make a nice amount of credits for a loss. I'll take that. I did get 2 kills. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I did get 1,900 base actually, which is pretty nice. Now, I did also get the kill on that Haraguma earlier with the bombs, which was super satisfying. Oh, sorry. That's not for this match. I do apologize. It's in the next one. The next one has that funny meme. Now, the Dollar, though, that was a pretty funny engagement in the beginning of that particular match. But you guys are definitely going to enjoy this match because in this particular match, I did get a airstrike kill onto a DD. I kind of forgot. I kind of mixed up the replays. I forgot which one. So it was pretty funny. It's you guys will see it. You guys will see it. Now, for what I initially do here, I kind of just go for the middle cap to try to help secure the middle, hold the cap area. Trying to do that initial like spotting for the team, just in case they're able to get a good snipe onto a battleship. You're definitely going to see, though, later on, I'll be trying to hit a Atago, I believe, and Atagos are very maneuverable, and I'm going to be having a really hard time to hit him with the bombs. So it's pretty much, if you guys remember how I've talked about the Golden Lure or the Golden Shower line, pretty much the gun, like everything is pretty much average or okay-ish because of the fact that you're paying a lot to get that gimmick, that airstrike gimmick. Potentially, like the airstrike for the Trump is pretty much a fire starter. It's pretty much its main goal is you got 72 bombs going off in that little square, and it has, I believe, I'll double check the numbers again. I believe it has like a 20, yeah, it has a 21% fire chance per bomb. So just imagine just all those bombs just hitting. It's like, it's pretty much, if you get all the bombs, which is going to be impossible because of how the square is. Pretty much on a battleship, you're only going to be able to hit the mid, a cruiser, maybe the front and the mid, but a DD, you can engulf a DD in the bombs. And if you do hit a DD with pretty much in the square, like in that little box, it is going to absolutely devastate the DD. The DD isn't going to be able to do much. Now, as I did recommend RPF for a particular reason, one, you do need, like, pretty much nowadays, you need RPF on a lot of your ships. It's especially with the fact that there's subs and there's subs in every match. So having that tool to be able to know where a submarine is in the match is really important if you are trying to hunt down a submarine, like if you have to do that. So RPF is always nice. Also, having RPF to be able to tell your team where a potential DD is or a submarine is nice. If you guys usually see how I ping on the map, I ping on the left and the right. Normally that left and right means that it's the DD or whatever is in that RPF is in between that area most likely. So it helps showcase the team where a potential enemy is lurking. So for instance, if it's like a submarine or a DD, they'll be able to know, okay, torps are probably going to be coming from this direction. So they will be watching out for that. Because one of the main issues on where DDs and subs can do really well is when they get to a flank of a ship and get that broadside with a lot of torps. And if you have RPF and you're giving your team a continuous information of like pinging where, like if you saw right there, I pinged the left and the right. If you're giving them information potentially where a potential enemy is, it really does help out your team on knowing where a DD is. Knowledge in this game. Excuse me. It's a disaster. I got thirsty. Knowledge in this game is one of the most important tools in this game. Knowledge and your ability to stay dark or use your concealment is very important tools in this game. I will admit that my torpedoes were pretty terrible here along with theirs. As you can see, he just turned a little bit and was able to dodge. I think I got him like here. Nope, I missed. Damn. Disaster. It was close. I did my best. It is the best that you could do. But yeah, it's an Otago. The ships that are super maneuverable, it's going to be really hard to try to... You pretty much, if it's a very maneuverable ship that you're going after, you pretty much have to like ninja strike them without them knowing that you're going after them. So as I was saying earlier with using torpedoes, you can try to use torpedoes to force them to turn a certain way or a certain pattern. Now this one I didn't aim it close enough and wait, did I hit him with this? Did I? Oh, I actually hit him with this one. Nice. I didn't think I did. Nice. I only hit him with 4 though, which is kind of sad because it was right on the edge. So that's kind of that's a rip. But yeah, one thing that this thing is not good at is it's not very good at like just putting out a lot of DPM. Like if I were to open up on the Otago, the ship isn't super quick to get away. So the Otago would just be able to hammer you the whole time. You're not very maneuverable. So for like a good comparison is the way that the engine boost works is kind of how with the Smallen. If you see me play Smallen before, I know how Smallens usually play. Normally, you'll engage the engine boost when you're either trying to fight a DD or you're trying to do gunboating. That's kind of the similar way you would with the Trump. Like if you're trying to like open gun for a bit, you would use the engine boost to get that extra maneuverability to be able to throttle juke and dodge the enemy better. That's also why I suggest taking turret diverse, because if you don't take turret diverse, if you're doing like a full turn with the engine boost, your turrets won't be able to keep up. But if you take grease the gears, you will be able to turn full while you're doing the engine boost, and you'll be able to kind of like do a lot more better maneuvering with that. So pretty much at this point, I kind of had my fill of trying to go to the Otago. So I wanted to help out my team to the south because it looked like they were having trouble down there with that potential push that's going to be coming up. So there is that. Now I don't... So... And also the fact is that I'm also not the best with airstrikes. If you have someone that plays Golden Lou a lot or plays a lot of the Dutch cruisers a lot, they are going to have so much fun with this line. Sorry, not the line, the ship, the Trump DD. My apologies. They're gonna have so much fun with this thing. They're gonna have such a blast with it hitting, like, because if you're really close to someone, just keep dropping the airstrikes right on them. It's kind of hilarious to do. Now you can also do it at max stream if you feel like doing that. So it's more of like a personal choice if you want to do it. So you can pick either or. And the guy detonated. That is a disaster. I guess he was dead. I guess he was debt flag farming. Yeah, remember guys, people were exploiting debt flag farms. That's why they removed the achievements for that. Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's a disaster. Now this is the glory. This is the beautiful one here. You're about to see the beautiful damage that these bombs can cause to a DD. Oh, yeah, look at that. Super nice. But the DD did also pop at the same time, so it's kind of a disaster there. But you're also gonna notice how much damage I take too. You're gonna notice that as well. I'm gonna take a lot of damage. Like, look at that damage I'm just taking right now. It's like, ugh, so much damage. It's not fun. It does take a lot of damage if you are not careful. I did also hit him as well with 8 bombs, so that was pretty nice. I think I did like 7k to him. I think maybe 7 or 8k. We can always see at the end of the video whenever I show up the scoreboard, so we can kind of see how much we do to him in the end. So we can always check that out. It should be there. And of course, it's a Georgia. Those things are literal. You want to go fast as fuck, boy. Running machines. Georgias are, like, whenever I was starting to play the game and I was first going into tier 9, Georgias were a lot more common back then whenever I did. And my lord, those things were terrifying to fight as a DD. For instance, you're just like, you're kind of new to the game. You're in a tier 7, tier 8. You just see a battleship just barreling at you at 40 knots. You can't outrun it. It's just outrunning you, and you're just screwed trying to do anything you can to kill it. It's just dodging everything you're launching at it. It's like a little DD hunting machine. It's like Get Over Here from Mortal Kombat, Scorpion. It's definitely terrifying, and yeah, I'll admit my torpedoes were not in game. If I was doing better with torpedo aiming, 100% I would have been doing a lot more damage this match. I will 100% call out my crappy gameplay. I missed a lot of my stuff that I shouldn't, and I also underestimated the Georgia's speed here. He just flat out just full W'd and just dodged. He dodged the strike. Wait, I got him a little bit on the ass? Okay, I got a little bit on him, but he instantly DCP'd, which was toxic. It was pretty toxic. I couldn't believe it. Now, I will be fighting 2 of their DDs a little bit later, so we'll be having fun with that. So you guys can at least see what I mean about the squishiness of the ship. Now, their DD did at first try to be a little bit aggressive here because he thought he could take me on, but I also was dumb and was trying to depth charge him. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should try to depth charge the Georgia, to be honest. And he's already kiting out, but the one thing is I do like these guns. Like I was saying in the video, the thing does have like Russian arcs for the guns, which are really similar to Russian like DD arcs. So the guns are pretty good at like longer gauge like shooting. So it's kind of easier for you to aim and like get the good leads and such onto the DDs that are like trying to fight you. But at the same time, I wouldn't really recommend just doing a lot of open watering because, again, the ship is pretty squishy. It's not really good in that regard. But sadly, as you guys can see, the match is already 4-9. So I do apologize for that. It would have been really nice to be able to get a win. I would have been really happy with being able to showcase you guys a win. But sadly, I couldn't. So of all the matches that I played, most of them were losses. It wasn't a really good day for me to get the replays, but we weren't like, I had to kind of rush making this video. We were given a very short notice for when these NDAs were dropping for this particular ship, so I couldn't really do like a full-on like really good job with that. So I do apologize for the replay quality, but it does showcase like the the goods and the bads of the ship, which is kind of like the main point. I still performed okay-ish to above average or good in the ship. At least you guys can see that. And at least I'm hitting some of my bombs. I'm hitting some of them. I'm hitting some of them. That's nice. That's nice. I was hitting some of them. So I'll take it. I was really hoping to fight. I don't remember if I fought both of the DDs in this one, like the Holland and the his Yang. I know I'm saying it wrong, so I do apologize. If you guys could write down in the comments how you do say it, or like how you pronounce it, I greatly appreciate it. But again, I do have a speech disorder, so most of the pronunciation I'm doing isn't on purpose. So yeah, that's like one of the reasons why I say stuff wrong, is because of that. I have like a hearing and speech disorder, central auditory processing disorder. So that's like the main reason why I mess up my wording to begin with. But yep, I was radared again by the DD. I'm just waiting for him at this point to pop up. Oh, there he is. And I was just waiting for him to go dark, which he did. Dark again. Nice, nice. Because at this point, I'm trying to bait him in. I know that he's trying to go after me to keep me spotted. So at this point, I'm just trying to bait him in. I want to bait him in to fight. So if that's why I was running away and I wasn't engaging with him. Also, I was trying to get the time to turn my guns into the proper positioning, which I was able to do. So now I'm just going to rush at him. And at this point, he should just be rushing at me, trying to perma spawn me. Since the match is literally 5 to 10. It's done at this point. For some reason, though, he wasn't hitting too many of his shots. Like, he did hit a few of them, but he wasn't hitting a lot of them, surprisingly. I was kind of shocked with that, with how close we were, but that was a nice kill. I'll take it. I'll take it. Very nice. Very nice. I'll take that. So we're at... I can't even rate that. It's actually blurry. It's like 2 kills, I think. We got the kill on the Haraguma. We got the kill on that. Oh, no. We got 3 kills. We're at 3 kills. Yeah, we got the kill on the Haraguma earlier. We got the kill on the Cruiser, and then we got a kill on that. So we'll take that. But pretty much... the match is already done at 7 to 10. We're not going to be able to win this one. They have all the caps. It's pretty much a GG at this point. We weren't... we pretty much won. We lost the south side. We lost the north side. If you lose both of the flanks, it's almost a guarantee. It's pretty much a guaranteed loss if you lose both flanks. You got to win one or you got to win the other. Now, luckily, the cruiser that was on my team he did see my pings where I was pinging, so he was able to radar and catch the Holland, which is very nice and very nice. Sadly, I did not connect the final shot here, but the boss one did, which was very nice. That was very nice. I was very happy about the boss finishing him off. I was very, very, very happy about that. Now, this is a secondary Republic. I can't read the ship name, but yeah, it's not very common to see a secondary French battleship. It's not very average at all. Like, it's not very common. It's like the wild ship that you're never gonna see. Like, it's kind of rare to see them, because normally if you have a French secondary battleship, normally they just get pummeled early because of how squishy they are. But yep, I wasn't able to hit him in the end, so it is a disaster. We did make 609,000 credits, which was really, really nice. We're making a lot of credits in this ship. With really no bonuses, so I'll take it. For it being a coal ship, that's probably the why it is, because pretty much most coal ships have an enhanced... they have the enhanced credit earnings, so that's super nice there. But yep, that is going to be it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And this is OverlordBou, and I'll talk to y'all later.